Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. We'll start with our Mangalacharan prayers today. So I'll call out names. Each one of you can read one mantra, so that way it is easier. Aradhya, would you like to start?
Okay, Prabhuji. Om Gyanantimirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshuru Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Shreya? Thank you. Achyuta. Is it glitching only for me or for everyone?
For me too, Prabhuji.
It's happening for me too.
Okay. Sorry. Yep. Thank you. Gaurahari?
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine.
Meghana?
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
Nashita?
Shri Rishabhani Deve Dayatya.
No, from here.
Oh, okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutate Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Iti Namine.
Nishka?
Shri Varshbhavanavi Devi Dayatya Kripa Bhanid Krishna Sambhada Vigna Daine Prabhabhav Namaha.
Purva?
Madhuryojvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute.
Radha?
Namaste Gauravani Shri Murte Dinatarine Rupanuga Virupas Padanta Twanta Harine.
Rishi?
You called me, I'm a little glitching.
Yes.
Okay. Namo Gora Kishoraya Shakshad Vairagya Murte Vipralamba Rasambodhe Padam Bujaya Te Nama.
Good. Sahasra?
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaurasakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate.
Sai Krish.
गौरविर्भवभूमिस्त्वं निर्देष्ट सज्जनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः.
Sonika.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patinanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha.
Monica.
Namo maya vadanaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya namane Gauratve Namah.
Sham.
Prabhuji, did you call my name?
Yes, Sham.
Oh, okay. Pachatat makam Krishnanam bhakta rupa swarupakam
Bhaktavataram.
Bhaktavataram Bhaktatyam Namami Bhakta Sattatikam.
Good. Tanvi.
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bande Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute.
Sindhura. Sindhura. Right, Radha.
Did you call me?
Yes.
Okay. Jayatam Saroto Pangor Mama Manda Matirgati Matsarva Sapatam Bojo Radha MadanMohan.
Who else? GK. I don't know who GK is. Okay.
No, that's my mom.
Okay. Can you please recite?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Divyalvindranya kalpadrimadaha Srimad Ratnangara Simhasanastau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Deva Prashtali Visevya Smarami.
Gaurahari. Okay, sorry. So we can. I think I covered everyone. So we'll try to recite together since time is running out. Okay. Together we can recite. Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vata Tatastita Karshan Venu Swanair Gope Gopinada Sri Estuna Tapta Kanchana Gaura Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. So welcome again, kids. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining for today's Sunday's class. So the topic we are reading today is reincarnation, samsara or reincarnation. So one second, please bear with me. Reincarnation and samsara. So you all went through soul, right? You all learned about soul last couple of weeks. So this week we will learn what is reincarnation and what is samsara. Samsara means cycle of birth and death. So
Prabhuji, please forgive me for interrupting in between.
Yes.
Very sorry, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just one thing. During the Sunday school, it is mandatory for kids to keep their cameras on.
Okay.
If their cameras are not on, then they can be marked as absent.
Yes, so you have all listened to Mataji. So heard Mataji. So can you please all of you turn on your cameras?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Sorry again.
Thank you, Mataji. No problem. So before we start, I'll try to say, I think you all like stories rather than philosophy, right? As a kid, I also like stories. Even now, I like stories. So just a small story. There was a doctor who has a clinic, and there was a lawyer. He was just passing by on the road, and this lawyer, he's very intelligent. So as he was passing by, he saw a board, on this hospital. What is that? It said, the treatment cost is only $20. If I am unable to cure within the visit, I will pay you $100 back. So this lawyer, he thought, no, this is a wonderful opportunity. Let me go and make him a fool so that I can gain $100 from him. So he went into the hospital, and he went and told the doctor, that doctor, um, the problem is I lost my taste. Whatever I eat, not that he has a corona, but he's trying to fool a doctor so that he can gain that $100. So he went and said, doctor, I lost my taste. No matter what food stuff I eat, I can't tell the taste of it. The doctor said, all right, we'll treat you. Come on, please have a seat. So he sat. Then he asked one of his assistant, the nurse practitioner, to go and bring the medicine from bottle number 22. He brought the nurse practitioner. Uh, he brought the bottle number 22, and he opened the bottle cap, and he put 2 drops of it on his mouth, and immediately um, the lawyer, the patient who came, he started jumping and said, yeah, this tastes like gasoline. Oh, congratulations, you got your taste back, right? So pay me my money. How much is it? $20. So the lawyer said, what is this? I came to make a fool of him to gain $100 from him, but I'm paying $20. So he gave $20 and said, I have to get $100 from him. So he left on that day. But after a few days later, again he stopped by. He said, doctor, no, I lost my memory, I don't remember anything. Oh, really? Okay, no problem. You sit here. Then he again called the nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioner, can you bring the medicine from bottle number 22? And immediately this lawyer said, oh, that's gasoline. Please, don't bring it. I don't want it. And see, congratulations. Is that you got your memory back? So pay me $20 more. And this lawyer, he paid $20, and he's hell bent now. No matter what, I have to earn $100 back from him. It's I'm a lawyer. I'm intelligent, but I'm keep on paying him rather than taking from him. So he left, and again he thought, this time I have to make some plan so that I can gain $100 from him. So he went again after a few days, and he said, doctor, I lost my eyesight. I can't see anymore. Oh, okay, please sit. And then the doctor is saying, unfortunately, this is the only disease I can't cure. So, take this $100. And saying $100, he only paid him $10, right? And the lawyer, he looked at it, but this is only $10. You're supposed to give me $100. Then the doctor said, congratulations, you got your eyesight back. Now pay me $20 more, right? So the reason I told this one is, people say so many things. If we don't have the knowledge, people may say that we are just a body. There is no soul. There is no super soul. They can say so many things. But when we don't have knowledge about these things, then we end up listening to them. But when we have knowledge, although we may not be able to convince them, but at least we are convinced ourselves. Mm. So that's the reason this subject matter, what we have discussed last week, or what you are learning from your from this Sunday school, from for many years for some of them, this is not taught in any schools. But this science will help you how to lead your life. It may not help you how to make living, but this science will help you how to live properly and happily. With that, um, um, so reincarnation, you all know. Uh, Somehow I can't see. I don't know how I can see every one of you.
You have to click gallery view, Prabhuji.
Gallery view. Okay, 1 second. And I can still share.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay, how do I do it? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Participants. Gallery. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. All right. So as you all know, re means again, right? You have recycle, all these re means again. Hmm. Reincarnation, right? Re means again, in means enter into, and karna means flesh, according to Latin. That is body. So reincarnation means again you enter into a different body. Hmm. So you have heard about soul, science of soul, and as a soul, can anybody say what are the characteristics of soul?
It's immortal.
What's that?
It never dies.
Yes.
Unbreakable?
Yes.
Insoluble, cannot be cut by any weapon, burned by fire, moistened by water, or
Good.
withered by the wind.
It transfers to a new body.
Full of
What is that?
bliss.
Yes. Good. So you all know the characteristics of soul. So, but the soul resides in the
Heart.
right, but soul resides in the body, right? You all saw how many bodies are there?
I think 4,800,000.
Okay, you're talking about the types of bodies. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. But in us, how many bodies are there?
There are 0, right? Prabhuji?
No, you already have a body, right?
So then there's 1.
No.
7.8 billion?
No, you are talking about the
4.
species.
Is there 4?
What is that?
4.
No.
Is it 2?
No.
Wait, Prabhuji, are you talking? Prabhuji, are you talking about how many bodies we've had?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hundreds and thousands.
No, I mean, no. My question is, how many bodies do we have currently?
One.
So, no, actually, somebody said 3. So I'm referring to the gross body,
okay.
and then
Gross body,
and within the
subtle
gross
body,
body, subtle body,
Subtle body.
and then within the subtle
and
body
like,
is
like consciousness or the soul.
spirit. Yeah, soul. Very good. Yeah. So so when we die, right? Um, um, we, we lose this body, but there is subtle body also with us. So subtle body, it will not die as long as we are not purified. That means we don't completely get rid of these unwanted things from our heart. We can't leave our subtle body. So with the subtle body, we will move into another body, right? So I want to ask you a question. Do anybody know any have heard any stories of reincarnation in either Mahabharata, Ramayana, any of the Puranas?
Yes.
Yes. Well, can you
Yes.
tell me the name or example of reincarnation?
Jadaba. So one king, he incarnated as a lizard. His next life.
Right.
King Nriga.
Nruga, yes.
Gajendra.
Gajendra, yes. Who was Gajendra in past life?
King, I forgot his name.
Indrajimna.
Yeah.
Yes. Who else?
Jadabarat.
Jadabarat. Who else?
Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, and then they came.
Jagai Madai.
Chakai Madai, yes. Yes, wonderful. That's good. So you have cited many examples or many personalities who took birth. So we will talk about philosophy a little later, but I wanted to share a story of Amba. You all know who is Amba?
Like in the Mahabharata?
Yes.
Isn't it a cow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Amba is not a cow.
Person.
There are three sisters. They are the daughters of King Kashi. One is Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. They are three sisters. So one day, Bhishma, he goes to the King of Kashi. King of Kashi, he organizes this Swayamvar. Swayamvar is I hope you know, Swayamvar is a ceremony where the bride's father, meaning a daughter, he organizes this so that his daughter chooses a husband of her choice. So when he organizes this Swayamvara, Bhishma, he left Kashi, and on behalf of Vichitravirya, his brother, he kidnaps, meaning he brings these three daughters of King Kashi. He challenges because during this Swayamvara there are several people who came, the princes, kings, who came to be chosen by these princesses to get married to them. But when Bhishma he came, it's one of the in those days, these are all not valid in this time, but in those days the kings, they can fight with the people and then forcefully they can kidnap, meaning they take away the daughters of King Kashi. So Bhishma he defeated all of the kings who came to marry these princesses, and he forcefully took them so that he can get them married to his brother Vichitravirya. So after he took them to his kingdom Hastinapur, then he brought all the three princes and said, you are going to marry my brothers, Vichitravirya and Chitrangada, if I believe. So then Ambika and Ambalika, they accepted. We are okay with it. We have no problem. But Amba, she said, I cannot marry. Why? Because I am in love with King Shalva. So I cannot marry. Then Bhishma said, why didn't you say that? Because I'm scared by looking at you. You're so fearful. You're killing all the kings left and right, meaning you're defeating them, you're shooting arrows, and I'm so scared to speak to you at that time. But now I'm saying you that I was in love with Shalva. And as a matter of fact, when Bhishma was trying to abduct or bring these three daughters of King Kashi, he also defeated Shalva. So after he said, all right, if you are in love with him, so let me send you back to Shalva, King Shalva. So Shalva, when he made arrangements so Amba can go back to Shalva. So when Amba went to Shalva said, I cannot marry you because I was defeated by Bhishma. As a Kshatriya, the rule for a Kshatriya, or if he was defeated by someone, he cannot take in charity. He feels very Krishna is saying to Arjuna that what is it? Infamy, or it's worse than death. That means if Arjuna he left the war thinking that I cannot fight, and he goes into the forest trying to live as a mendicant, people blaspheme you, and when you hear those words, it is worse than death. Why? For a Kshatriya, he cannot take those words. So he says that is not your nature. We all have our natures, right? Everybody has our nature. So Kshatriya nature is he cannot take in charity. So he said, I cannot take in charity, so you better, you can go back to Bhishma. So again, she goes back to Bhishma and says, now I can't marry Shalva because he is not willing to marry me. And since you are the one who brought me, you should marry me. Then Bhishma says, forget it. Why? Because I took a vow.
Bhishma couldn't marry.
What's that?
Bhishma took a vow that he wouldn't marry.
Yes, you're right. Yes, Bhishma, he took a vow that he'll be celibate. That means he will never get married. So Amba, she left the home of Bhishma also. So she was just roaming around, and she was contemplating what has happened. She was cursing her father because she arranged Swayamvar. She was cursing Shalva because he did not allow. He is not in agreement to marry Amba, and then she started cursing Bhishma also. Why? Because he brought him forcefully, and then out of all these three, she also blamed herself because why I didn't say this, that when Bhishma was abducting me, I could have said him that I'm in love with Shalva. So I didn't say that also. I am also being cursed. I am also responsible for the situation I am in. So thinking all of this, but she thought to herself that the Bhishma is it is more of an error or a mistake on Bhishma's side more than anybody's error. So she was thinking, what should I do? What is my position now? And she was doing austerities. Why? So that she can not knowing what to do. So one sage he approached her, and the sage said, so after hearing her story, the sage said, I can help you in some way. What is it? Bhishma will listen. If you want to get married to Bhishma, you are thinking that Bhishma is responsible for the position you are in. So I suggest you that you approach Parashuram. So Parashuram, he'll be able to help you because Parashuram is who knows Parashuram and Bhishma's relationship?
Parshuram was Bhishma's guru.
Yes, very good. Yes. So Parshuram is the guru of Bhishma. So if Parshuram says, Bhishma will oblige. So she approached Parshuram. Amba approached Parshuram and she prayed to Parshuram. She pleased him. And Parshuram said, all right, let me send a letter to Bhishma asking him to marry you. So Parshuram, he wrote a letter, and Bhishma said, I cannot accept her because I vowed to not get married. So then Parshuram said, if you cannot accept my proposal to marry her, Amba, then you have to fight me. So the strength of Parshuram, you all know the strength of Parshuram. Parshuram, he fights at the speed of mind, right? So people will have so many, meaning kings will have so much military strength, weapons, but their military strength is nothing in front of the power of Parshuram, because he fights at the speed of mind. The moment the opposite party who came to fight with Parshuram, they took out, they take out their weapons to target Parshuram. By the time Parshuram with his axe, with the speed of mind, he kills everybody. So can you imagine defeating a person, or can you imagine a person who is fighting at the speed of mind, right? That is the fastest, right? Speed of the mind. You know, just by sitting, if you think of India or some other place, Vrindavan, Mayapur, then you are there, right? So that is the speed of mind. No object or no equipment goes faster than the speed of mind. Even speed of light is it's very slow in front of the speed of mind. So that is the power of Parshuram. And Bhishma, he said, all right, I'll accept your proposal that I'll fight with you. So a day came that they both were the opponents. And before starting to fight, what did Bhishma do? He went to Parshuram and he took his blessings. Right? Why? Because he is Guru. Although he is an opponent, Bhishma, he did not forget that Parshuram is his Guru. So I have to respect him. So he went to Parshuram and he took his blessings. And Parshuram, he said, he was so pleased with Bhishma that you took my blessings. You came here to take my blessings. I am so pleased with you. So no matter how powerful one may be, one has to get these blessings of elder persons, whether it be your parents or your grandparents, because the blessings are prayers. They have much power. You may be powerful, but the blessings are there to help you. So when Bhishma and Parshuram, they were fighting, they fought for 23 days continuously. And Bhishma is not an ordinary person. He is also a great warrior. It's very difficult to defeat him also. So they both were fighting for 23 days, but nobody won. On the 24th day, what did Bhishma do? He took a weapon which is more dangerous, and he's trying to aim at Parshuram. Then appeared Narada, a great sage, and he said, "We should not do this to your guru. You should not use such kind of a weapon to your guru, towards your guru. So better you compromise. That means, don't accept. You can't defeat your guru. You can't kill your guru. So what you do? You go and accept that it's a draw match. The war is drawn. So you should be the one, because you are the student. You should go and say, the match is drawn. Please consider this." So Bhishma, listening to the words of Narada, he goes to Parshuram and says, "My dear Guru, let's stop this match. Let's make it a draw." And Parshuram accepted. So the match is drawn. And Amba, her misery is still there. She is still miserable in condition. So she is thinking, no, my situation is not changed, even though I took the help of Parshuram. So what she thought, I'm more vengeful towards Bhishma. So with anger towards Bhishma in her heart, she is thinking, let me be the cause of Bhishma's death in my next life. So thinking that, she did rigorous tapasya. She is standing in Yamuna, not eating anything, just surviving on air. So you can imagine how hard it is. But her will to be the cause of Bhishma, because she is a lady, she cannot kill Bhishma. She doesn't have strength. Even Parshuram, who is fighting at the speed of mind, he couldn't defeat Bhishma. So she understood the power of Bhishma. So she was thinking, at least if I don't kill him, I should be the cause of his death. So with that vengeance in her heart, she tried to do this tapasya. She did tapasya for 6 months, more than that. Can someone of you please mute? So she did tapasya, um, um, standing in the Yamuna water without eating, without drinking, just uh, just standing and surviving on breathing air. And because of her power, she got a next birth. She was born as a daughter of a king. I believe it is Drupada. And Drupada, he said, he, somebody, a saintly person, he came and he did a astrological chat and said, although she is a lady, but in future she'll turn into a man. So this lady, uh, she was grown up, and one day what happened? She met a prince, and when she met a prince, they exchanged their bodies. Can you imagine? So this lady, she transferred herself. She took the body of that prince, and the prince took the body of Amba in her next life. So she became Shikandi. Although she is in a man's body, male body, she is a woman. So you all know the story of Kurukshetra, in Kurukshetra, when they are fighting in Kurukshetra, one day these Pandavas, they went to Bhishma and said, Bhishma, my dear grandfather, can you please tell us the secret? How can we kill you? And this Bhishma, he said, I cannot fight I cannot fight with a woman. If a woman is in front of me, I cannot fight her. So what happened? You all know the story how Arjuna, when he was fighting, he kept Shikandi in the front and he is shooting arrows behind from me, because otherwise it is impossible for Arjuna to kill Bhishma, because Bhishma has a boon. What is that boon? Can anybody say?
He chooses when he dies.
Yes, he chooses when he want to die. Yes, that's true. So that's how Bhishma was killed. And who is responsible for his death? Who is the cause?
Shikandi.
Shikandi. Yes,
Shikandi.
Shikandi is responsible, as she is the cause of Bhishma's death. So she is. So this is how the reincarnation. That means she is the same person, but she carries the power of vengeance. See the power of anger. She took many births. She took actually 3 births to kill Bhishma. So, a question may be asked. Do you think we also took many births? Yes, right? So if
Yes.
Amba, she remembered her previous life, why don't we? Right?
Because we're not that pure.
We are not that pure. No, um, it's not that, but
Effects of this yuga, or
no, it's not that. Not about yuga. Suppose if a small boy is trying to learn how to ride a bike, right? His father is helping him, trying to make him learn how to ride a bike. So he's trying to sit on the bike for the first time. Imagine that. Okay, you all went through that, right? I don't know if you still remember the first day
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
you remember. So if you fell down from the bike and you got a hurt, you were hurt on your knee, on your kneecap, then what will you say to your father? No, I'm not going to ride the bike, right? Right. If you think about the same old wound, you will never learn the bike. Is it right? You are scared to get onto the bike, but after few days, what you do? You again forget about it, right? Again, your father one day will say, "Come on, let's ride the bike," and somehow hesitatingly you sit on the bike, and your father say, last time you didn't had a kneecap, so that's why you fell down and you were hurt, you are bleeding. But now that I brought you this kneecap, so this will help you. You'll not get hurt, so you can learn the bike now. Then the boy says, "Okay, let me try," and slowly, hesitatingly, he might sit on the bike with a kneecap, and slowly he will learn. And one day, slowly, he will learn how to ride the bike. Yes, this thing happened when he learned the bike because he forgot about it, and he was convinced by his father that he got the protective gear, right? So suppose in my last life, I met with an accident, or suppose I had an accident like last week. I'd be scared to drive again, right? Oh, I don't want to touch, I don't want to go out, I would like to just stay at home. But how long can I stay home? If I am fearful to drive the car, then I will never drive a car, right? And if suppose I was dead by an accident, by a car accident in last life, if I still remember that, there is always fear in me that I should be very careful. I'll be very scared to drive the car, and always very cautious, right? So Krishna, he is the one who gives memory, and he is the one who gives forgetfulness. Anybody remembers that shloka? We'll see. Krishna gives the memory, and Krishna gives the forgetfulness. Just a little part of it.
Is that the from me comes knowledge, remembrance?
Yes. You remember shloka? Anybody remember shloka? That shloka?
I have it on a Krishna Kids Camp T-shirt.
Yes. Sarvasya chaham.
Sannivisto
Shannivisto.
Matasmatir Janvapohanam cha.
Very good.
Vedesha
Vedesha.
Durlabher.
Vedesha Sarver Aham Eva Vedyo
Vedantikrit Devajaham.
Very good. Thank you. Yes. So he is the one who gives. Yes. So he is the one who gives remembrance, and he is the one who gives forgetfulness. If he doesn't give forgetfulness in this scenario, I would be very scared. Not just the previous life. What about all the previous lives? There are millions of lives like that. All right. So all this will make me live in the past, not look forward for the future. You agree? Right? I'll be always thinking about past. This happened to me, did that happen to me, huh? But I will never focus on the future. I will never grow. The same thing with everyone. If suppose a student has a bad grades, he got his progress report, and he saw that he got his bad grades. He's always thinking, I got F or D, what is this? And he got chastisement from his parents. Then he will not improve. He'll only, if he keeps on thinking about the grades that had happened previously, that he got previously, then he will never learn, right? He will, if he always thinks about that, what about the present situation? He has to get the grades in future also, right? After 3 months, next trimester, right? He has to forget somehow and focus on the current. right? And once he focus on reading for the current trimester, then he'll improve his grades. So he has to get rid of his fears. The same way, to help us, Krishna, he gives us this forgetfulness, so we don't remember. But there are some instances where people remembered their past lives, where when they are very, very, very young, like 1 year old, 2 year old. I had a video I can share, but I don't know if I'll be able to share. Can you all hear if I play a video from my laptop?
There's a setting where when you share the screen, it says share screen sum.
Yeah, it'll be in the bottom left corner. It'll be like a checkbox.
Okay, I'll share my screen. 1 second, let's try.
Yeah,
Help.
once you click the share button, it'll say like, do you want to share sound also?
Okay, let me see if I can. Small video that was like a 5-minute video, not a big one.
I've also read a book by Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. Yeah, and it talks about like many people who had like past life incidents, like they remembered stuff.
If not, I will show you next week. I cannot find it now. But there was a old girl, very small. She was like 2 years old. She was traveling with her mother. She was in the car seat, in the back seat, in the car seat. And while traveling, they were going through a bridge, and there was a big river underneath that bridge. They are passing by that river, and her daughter, she said, it seems like, I have been to this place before, and I somehow feel like, this is the place where I died. It reminds me of this place that where I died here last life. And his mother was shocked. What are you talking? And then she took the car aside. She stopped the car, and they both got down, and they just walked. And that lady, that small girl, little girl, she started speaking again. Mom, I still remember that, I didn't wear seat belt, uh, and the road was slippery, and I met with an accident, and my car jumped over that bridge, and it fell into the river, uh, and I died. Somehow, I could see the sun from even through the water. I can see the bubbles coming when from my breath. And she was speaking so clearly, all the events that had happened. And her mother was shocked, and she said, she never even know that the bubbles will come, because she never swam. She's like only 2 years, she never swam. And she's telling all these things about the bubbles. She could see through the water, everything. And she was shocked to see, shocked to listen from her daughter. And there is one more instance where maybe I'll share you next class, maybe next week. But the essence is, mm, there is life after life, life after life, life after life. In some of the some people, they say that this is the end of the life. But that is not it. So we have life after life, life after life. We always exist. You all read this verse in Bhagavad Gita 2, second chapter, right? We all exist all the time. So there, in one verse, Krishna said, yes, but Sai Krish, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
the verse is Natva evam jatu nasam natvam neme janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayamataparam.
Very good. Yes. So that verse, Krishna is saying, there is no time you did not exist, nor did I, or all these kings. They were existing before, they are existing now, and they shall exist in future. So yeah, and one so we always exist. So just as we spoke in the beginning, there are three bodies. One is the gross body, subtle body, and then the spiritual body, which is the soul. Can anybody tell what is subtle body made up of?
Like consciousness, internal feelings, emotions.
Consciousness.
Right.
Uh,
But more precisely,
Intelligence, mind, and false ego.
mind, intelligence, and false
False ego.
Yes, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Very nice, very nice. So at the time of death, a person leaves his body, right? But he will not leave his subtle body. So if someone leaves their subtle body, that means if someone leaves their subtle body, what is that body that is remaining?
the spiritual body or the soul.
Yes. So when one only has a spiritual body, then where will he go?
Back to Godhead.
Back to Godhead.
Yes, back to Godhead. As long as we have subtle body, we have to take
Another body.
another body. Yes, yes. So the spiritual practice is all about how we can
Go back to Godhead.
Yes. Why?
So that like we can like be eternally with Krishna and not have to like suffer the threefold miseries here.
Yes. Yes. And that is our natural constitutional position, right? If you take fish, where does the fish live?
In a pond or lake.
In a pond or a lake, in water, basically, right? If
Yeah.
if you say, milk is very nutritious than water, so fish, let me put in the milk. So if you bring a big pot, or an aquarium filled with milk, and you try to put fish in that milk, what happens to the milk? Fish.
They won't
It's
be
not.
breed.
It's gonna die.
Die. The fish will die.
It will die.
Fish will die. Why?
Because
It can't survive without water.
Yeah, it cannot live in that water. It cannot survive without water. Same thing with us. We are spirit soul, as you heard many times, and our constitutional position is
Serving
Back to
Krishna.
Godhead.
to serve Krishna. Yes. So when we serve Krishna, what happens? Slowly during this process, our subtle body is, what is happening to our subtle body?
we're leaving it.
Coming to spiritual body.
Yeah,
Going
the
to our
subtle body, it
spiritual
is being
body.
purified. So by doing this devotional process, whatever we are doing, a little bit, even a little bit, it helps us. Why? Because it purifies our consciousness. Our consciousness means our mind, intelligence, and false ego. So when we read about how this science works, so we gain this knowledge, and no matter uh, uh, how much little devotional service we do, it purifies us, our consciousness, and we are closer to Krishna. We take one step towards Krishna. If we take one step towards Krishna, what does Krishna do?
He will bring us back.
So Krishna takes unlimited steps towards us. Right? Yes. Very nice. So any questions you have?
Prabhuji.
Anything anybody would like to add? Anybody wants to say about this reincarnation or the topic that we spoke about? Okay.
No problem.
Let me take a screenshot of all of you before. Can you please, all of you, can you please turn your video cameras on? Let me take a screenshot, and then I will tell you a small.
Prabhuji, sometimes it'll be two different pages of everyone's photo.
Yes, I will take the first page now. Hope you all remain like that in the same page wherever you are. I don't know if you can change. but let me save this once. Attend. Okay, and let me go to the next page. Yes, I took. Jairadha Mataji, Dandat Pranam Mataji. You want to add anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji. Very good. That's good. Thank you.
Prabhuji, kids from the next class are joining, some of them.
What is that? I couldn't hear you.
Some of the kids from the next class are joining right now.
Okay. All right. We still have 4 minutes, right? Or we are done? 11:50. Okay, our class ends at 11:50. I'm sorry. So next week I'll try to prepare a Kahoot based on what you have learned about the characteristics of soul and stuff like that. Kahoot, if it's all okay with you. Okay. See you all next week then. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, the host access will go to Divya Vrajapriya Mataji Prabhu.
I don't see Mataji here.
Yeah, not yet. When she could transfer it to her, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji, I'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe. Hare Krishna.